Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we are back on the 78 Hot Rod Nova. Okay, we're not into patina on this channel. Don't like it. Very few cars look good in patina. Like old rat rods or something. Something like this, it looks like total garbage to me. Okay, as you can see, all the top surfaces is just all rusty. I use that rust converter spray on areas like if I did this, if I strip this down to the metal, I'd spray it on here. You know, just, you know, little areas, we fix this rust, we'll spray it on there. And then, you know, let it dry, sand it down, prime it, and it should be good. Well, you could probably do it to the top, this hood, roof, and trunk as well, but we're going to try a different way, hopefully different ingredients. When I put some of this stuff, not some rust treatment in the trunk there, I actually put it on this deck lid to, I don't know, just to, I had a little bit of extra and I brushed some on there. I'll tell you what that is later. So, this part here don't look too bad, but the rest. So what I bought, I've never used it before, is this stuff here. I bought it off of eBay. It's Eastwood. I don't usually buy stuff from Eastwood because it's so damn expensive. This was expensive. It was $65, but it ended up being like $69 with tax and shipping and everything. Okay, it's acid-based rust remover and metal prep. You can see by the picture, you know, one side of the rotor is rusty and the other is clean. Ideal prep for painting and powder coating, leaves zinc phosphate coating, promotes adhesion, prevents rust. Okay, what the ingredients are: water and phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid. Okay. Like I said, I've never quite used it. I use Pour 15 and the rust converter spray stuff. I don't think I've really used anything else. This is kind of the first time using this. So I didn't know. I didn't know how you're supposed to use it. Years ago, I had a friend that did a deal on aluminum, to make paint stick to aluminum, and he had stuff like this, and he mixed it in with a sprayer. It was an aluminum trailer, sprayed the whole aluminum trailer with it, let it dry, and then I think he used etching primer, and that was good to go. So I didn't know if it was something like this, like that, that you just, you know, put it on there and spray it off. I don't know. So anyway, I bought it. Now I got the directions. Okay, must be free of oil, grease, and wax. Remove loose, rust, blistered paint, and scale. Okay, temperature determines how quickly it dries. Best working temperature is above 70, but not over 100. Shake before using. Okay, now you apply it with brush, rag, roller, spray, or simply dip the, okay, we can't dip the car in it. To use on heavy rust, hot days, on vertical surfaces, saturate a clean cloth, place on the part, and cover with plastic to avoid evaporation. Okay, that's why we're doing this at night. It's fixing to get dark. We're doing it because we can't let it dry. You can't put it on there and just let it dry. Okay? Cover it with plastic on if it's too hot. Okay, Keep treated metal surfaces moist. Okay, do not allow it to dry for at least 30 minutes until the surface has a uniform gray appearance. If air bubbles appear, smooth them out with a cloth or brush. Avoid wasteful runoff. So, if the metal surface is not free of rust, repeat the process again. Wipe the still wet part with painting prep or acetone to remove excess. Treated surfaces will be coated with zinc phosphate. Prime the surface before painting. Okay, it should be removed from painted or chrome surfaces with mild detergent and water as soon as possible. Wipe dry. Okay, so we're going to do away with the custom concourse trim here because this one's busted and it's a little loose anyway, and we got to take it off anyway. So I'm going to take these off. Now it says to remove the loose rusted flakes and paint. Well, that'd be more for up here. You know, get all this loose stuff off of here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some 80 grit with the DA. I'm going to bring it over here in front of my shop here in a minute. I just wanted to get this done before it got dark. I got to clear out the whole bay there. But we got lights. We got lights there. Come on. When it gets dark. So I'm going to take a DA with 80 grit, and we're going to do half this. See what it looks like, just for a nice comparison photo deal. 80 grit all this down as much as I can, which I would normally do if I was using the spray. Now this stuff may work just as much as this, just as good as the spray stuff. I'm going to look at that spray canned ingredients and see if it is phosphoric acid and leaves a zinc coating, which this says. Treated surfaces will be coated with a zinc phosphate. So we're going to see if it's the same ingredient, see if it's the same type of stuff. We don't know. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll sand it all down with 80 grit, blow it all off, and then we'll use this stuff on. I got a brush, and we'll just brush it on there and make sure it's wet and everything for 30 minutes. And then you're just supposed to wipe it off. I don't have acetone, I got some paint thinner. We can just wipe off the excess and see what it looks like. Okay, so if that works, then we'll do the roof and the trunk. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay guys, it gets dark earlier and quicker. So this is the stuff I usually use, like I said, for smaller areas. Yeah, okay, that light's now on. I got this light on so we can see pretty good here. Okay, the ingredient says contains acetone, hydrocarbon propellants, and 2-butyl-hexaethanol. Okay, that's all it says. Yeah, this light will go on and off here for a few minutes. So yeah, it doesn't say anything about phosphoric acid, so it's different stuff right there. And it's not sponsored. I bought it. We'll see if it works. If it don't work, then I'll tell you, and we'll just buy a bunch of cans of these. But I figured, you know, 69 bucks, if you can get rid of all the rust on the top and not have it come back, because that's the main thing there. We don't do half-ass shit where you see all these other YouTubers. I'll just grab a turbo can of black paint or primer or something and just paint right over all this shit, and it's, you know, it'll just come up in a matter of weeks or months, and then, you know, trying to sell it that way. We're not going to use that stuff on this. We're going to DA all this That's a big old Bondo spot. Later on, we're going to strip the whole body down and prime and paint it. So, but I won't let the cat out of the bag right now. Not telling you what kind of paint or anything right yet. Okay, I took the chrome off, rust underneath there. Half the clips broke. Well, it's not clips. They're built right into the molding. These deals here, they just snapped off when you try to loosen them. So, yeah, well, you could get it back on. You can get it back on with that one, and 2 screws go up through the top. But we're not putting that back on. Like I said, it's not going. We'll just get some Dynaglass and do over there. Okay, but for right now, I've got some 80 grit DA paper, my electric DA sander, and like I said, we'll just do half of this for now. So well, I thought that this was bare metal, but apparently it's got the paint failure, but it's rust up through the paint. It comes up like a plant and just spreads out. I guess kind of like this. So yeah, there's blue paint in there. Let me sand some more. Okay guys, well, I don't think this is going to be as bad as I thought it was going to be, since it's got paint underneath there. They're still going to have all the little rust pinhole things all embedded in there. It's probably dark on the, we'll have to show you that tomorrow, the deck lid. See if the deck lid's the same way. But anyway, let me sand half this hood and I'll be back. 3 raccoons. What are you guys doing? I threw out some stale bread and stuff for the cat. But yeah, they had a whole nest of them over there, so I don't know how many. What you guys doing? What you guys doing? See if I can. I got some stale bread here. Okay, let me show you what I got going on here. Okay, I really thought that this paint was all baked off and all that was the metal. Okay, so it's taken a while. This paint's it's factory paint, but it's taken a while to it's a little bit gummy, not too bad. So I don't know what it is, lacquer, enamel, I don't know what they used in 78. So yeah, at first it looks, oh well, that looks pretty good. You just prime over that, but that rust is embedded in there. You can see it. It's got very, very slight pitting, which, you know, primer will fill up. But so anyway, that's the best we can get it with 80 grit. So I just wanted to show you the difference here. So I'm gonna sand the rest of this, and then we'll use that stuff and see what happens. Although, see, it looks kind of black. I don't know if that stuff's supposed to make it turn black or what, but we're gonna use it for what directions they give us. Put it on there for 30 minutes and wipe it off. So anyway, let me sand the rest of this blue off and I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it all sanded down. Bug. Okay, we're not doing no body work on the top surfaces. I may fix dings and stuff, and there's a rust hole on that fender we're going to fix later on. So this video is just about the top surfaces. You can see here it's banged up. When this was wet, when it had rained out, you could look on it and it's covered in hail. All the top surfaces. Most of the cars I get, they've been sitting outside for 25, 30 years. They're going to get hailed on no matter where you're at. Big dent here, dents in here. So we're not going to fix any of that. Okay, so it says shake it up. I shook it up. Here's a brush. We don't know how this is going to go on, whether it's just going to go and slide off or soak in. So let's put a little bit on here and see what happens. I don't think it's going to matter going down in the jam or anything. So anyway, supposed to spread it around, keep it moist for 30 minutes. So let me do that. Let me spread the whole thing on there. I don't know what the temperature is out here, probably 70 degrees. It's supposed to turn it into a gray surface. Okay, let me spread it over the whole hood and I'll be back. Okay guys, I coated it. You see by the can there, I didn't use very much. Just enough to put it on there. It started dripping down here, and I wiped it off with a paper towel. You're not supposed to get any of this on your skin or anything, so it's kind of turning brown, but that might be sanding dust. It is turning gray though, so it's supposed to turn gray. So I think I'll just keep spreading it like this. It's not really evaporating. I'm just going to keep spreading it to keep it moist. And it says to wipe it off, like I said, with thinner or with acetone, but we got thinner. I don't know what kind of gloves you're supposed to use to protect your skin, but this might need a second coat if it's supposed to take up this black. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing this. I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm going to let that spread it all around real good. I'm going to let it sit for about another 20 minutes or so. Also mention I'm real leery on using any kind of acid stuff. I've heard, you know, people in the past, oh, use muriatic acid, use this acid. Well, a lot of that acid, some of the acids will warp the metal. I mean, warp it like hell. So I kind of stay away from it. But this is made by Eastwood, name brand, and it's made for getting rust off cars. So I figure it's safe. Might not be very potent. I got a bad sense of smell because I smoke, but I can't smell anything. That's another reason I work outside, so I don't have to smell primer and paint or acids and stuff like that. it is. It's 9 o'clock at night. It's 78 degrees out. It's not windy. It doesn't seem to be evaporating or anything, so that's good. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that about acids. Just be very careful if you're going to use acid to do this. But anyway, we'll let it set for 20 minutes. We'll grab some, it says rags, but I got paper towels with some thinner, and we'll wipe it all down. And I don't know, maybe it seems to be turning black here and lifting up this black, see? So I don't know if I should put another coat to get all that black out of there, because it said it's supposed to turn gray like all this here. But anyway, after about 20 minutes, we'll wipe her down and see, and maybe put another coat. Like I said, I didn't use very much of it, so we're gonna have way more than enough to do this car. Probably enough to do 3 or 4 cars, maybe. I don't know. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, I started sanding. I'm gonna sand half of this trunk. There's not much blue paint underneath here, like the hood. A lot more embedded rust. So there's a little bit of blue paint, but it's coming right off, like there's not much left of it. Anyway, I'm gonna finish sanding the rest of that. But it's been about 30 minutes, I guess, since put this on there. It's still staying wet, which is good. So we'll use some, they say if you get it on the skin, just we'll rinse off with water, then go to the emergency room if need be. But we're just gonna wipe it off and see what happens here. So we're gonna wipe it off like this, and then we're gonna use some with some paint thinner. And then we're gonna put a little bit more on the black areas, because I believe, I don't know, but I would think that would need a little bit more. So anyway, let me rinse off my hand real quick. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I wiped it down with a little bit of thinner. So we're going to try a little bit more on the black areas. Well, how about we do right in here for a little bit more. Work like that. Use the brush. A little bit goes a long way, but hopefully we don't have to do this 10 friggin' times. It didn't say anything about what happens when it turns black, whether you're supposed to do this, and it just said give it a second coat as needed, but we don't know what that is, or when that is. So how about we just do that, let that sit on there for a while. Shouldn't take 30 minutes, should only take a few minutes, and see if that lifts up that black. If it does, then we're just gonna go ahead and take all that black off there, because that's probably rust. All they said was it's supposed to turn gray. So I'll let that sit. I'm gonna be sanding the back half there of the trunk, so I'll be back. Okay guys, it's been on there for a while, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything to that black. Like I said, the instructions doesn't say anything if that black needs to be removed. It also doesn't say anything about sanding it before priming it. It just says to wipe it down with acetone and then prime it. So I don't know, maybe it is. Is it taking off the black? It's hard to tell. let it sit on there for a while longer. I mean, I don't think it'll hurt it. We'll see what happens. I'll just keep scrubbing it here with this brush. I took off the chrome on the back trunk right there. Of course, it leaves these rivets. Same with the top. Got them rivets there. We're gonna have to take a grinder and grind them off. But yeah, I'll probably have to do that. I won't be able to sand in there real good with the DA sander. But yeah, I've been sanding it. You can see all this embedded rust here. Might be a little bit more work getting the rust off this trunk, but it's not as big of a surface. Also, this just says the ingredients was what, that phosphorus acid. That's all that is, and water. So in the future, if this works and I'm happy with it, I'll look for some, you know, whatever brand of that phosphorus acid instead of, because I'm sure Eastwood just doubled the price. You could probably buy a no-name brand of it for half it. I don't know. All I did was look on eBay for rust remover because I was looking for some acid stuff, and all this little spray bottles, Chinese made stuff that had the same type of picture, but shit, you read the comments or the reviews and it don't work. It don't work, and the little cans or the little spray bottles are so small, they said. So eBay's just flooded with those ads for rust remover, and it's apparently no good. So that came up, so I bought that. Okay, let me if I think this is, well, maybe it is taking off the black. Not all of it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if I think it is, I'm going to do all these areas here of the black, and then wipe it off again and get it down to where they said the gray. Okay, so I'll be back when I get that done. Okay guys, I took a razor blade to some of this black stuff, and it's coming off. So I think that's what I'll do, is to scrape it off, because I think that's what I'll do. I'm just going to scrape it all off because I'm afraid that's just embedded rust or something. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I wiped it all down. Some little black spots still left. Like I said, I'm not sure if we got to sand it before you prime it, but I think we're going to see what happens. So tomorrow morning we're going to sand that and prime it. Also, I got all this sanded here. See all the embedded rust, and we're going to put some of that acid on this half of the trunk and do that. Probably do this first thing, so because it still gets up in the 90s here in the day. We don't want it in the heat of the day. So first thing in the morning, before the sun's blazing hot, we'll do this, a couple of coats, and get both them ready to prime, and then prime them. Okay, so I'll be back in the morning. Okay guys, next morning. Some reason this doesn't have any morning dew on it, but this does. I just kind of wiped it off. It's all wet back here. See it all wet up here. Okay, so I'm fixing to put the acid on here. Now here, like I said, I don't know whether supposed to sand. Maybe this puts that, all they mentioned was a gray coating. So maybe the gray coating and you just prime over it, but we're gonna sand it anyway and see what happens. So let me put some acid on the back trunk and sand this with 80 grit, and then we'll go from there. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I'll just show you what it's looking like. Okay, I think that's all we're gonna do. I'm gonna sand it some more off camera, and sanded this area here, and prime it. So I'm gonna do that. Got some acid going on the back. I'm gonna keep moving it around with the brush here, and I think what we'll use is the razor blade scraper. Once whatever turns black, we'll scrape it off like we did the front. It's just kind of trial and error on this, figuring out the best way of doing it. But let me get this sanded down, ready to prime. I'll be back. Okay guys, just ready to prime. So I think I'm going to make this the thumbnail, you know, before, after. Of course, you'll already know that, but okay. So swishing this around here, you can see the stuff turning black, stuff peeling. Gonna get hot out here pretty soon. The sun line is right there, so try to get this area here done before the sun makes it too hot to use this stuff. You know, it'll dry it too quick. Anyway, you can see it moving and lifting and stuff like that. So I'm just going to keep doing this until I feel like it's about to dry, and then I'm going to use the razor blade deal, and then probably give it one more coat, and that should be done. In the meantime, I'm going to DA 80 grit, sand this other half. Then we can just do the whole deck lid at once, prime it. And I put a piece of cardboard here to catch the runoff so it doesn't ruin the plastic and the tail light there. So yeah, anyway, just it's taken a while to get this far, but I think, you know, the faster way of doing it with the razor blade, scraping it. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I got a better razor blade scraper here. It doesn't, it needs to be on there a little bit longer. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm gonna take 80 grit with a DA and sand this half of the hood. You don't need to see me do it because it's same as this side. Just going to repeat the process. On the back here, I've been scraping this off because the sun's coming out. It's making it a little bit gooey and drying. So use that and then scrape it off. So I already did one coat this stuff here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape this off and sand it again, because you see a little bit of blue there, a little bit of blue there. You're supposed to get all the paint off of it. So it doesn't take paint off. Okay, and then I'm gonna, like I said, sand this area, but the sun's right in my eyes here. It's bright and sunny, so I'm gonna wait till later today when the sun goes down and finish sanding that, coat the whole deck lid again, and coat this side of the hood. Okay, so I'll be back later today. Okay guys, I got all this sanded and put some on there. You can see the sun, that half, so this half is drying kind of quick, but I'm just kind of doing an experiment and letting it, just gonna let it dry up and then scrape it scrape it and sand it instead of using a bunch of rags, paper towels like I did on this side, and wiping it. Yeah, it's all turning black there. Yeah, we're gonna have to sand it and give it another coat. Still see some blue coming through. And with that heat, you can really smell it now. I guess if it's colder, you can't really smell it, but I guess the heat kind of. So anyway, I'm just gonna mess around with this, and then because pretty soon the sun will be right here, and so I'll come back tonight when the sun comes down, and we'll finish this off in the back. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I just came in. Here's looking on eBay. There's a gallon of phosphoric acid, $49.29, and that's concentrate, 85% concentration. We don't know what the Eastwood stuff is concentrated at, but this says to maybe used as a rust remover inhibitor, dilute to 25 to 50% concentration with water and soak rusted metal parts. Over time, rust will remove, and the phosphoric acid reacts with the metal to create a rust inhibiting barrier on the metal. Be sure to use gloves. So if this is 50%, I'm sure the Eastwood stuff we're using is diluted already for metal, because they're saying you dilute it up to 50%. So this is like getting double. This is like getting 2 gallons of the stuff, right? 2 gallons for 49 bucks compared to 1 gallon of Eastwood for 65. Yeah, the Eastwood name on it there just up the price. So I suggest getting some of this. Just go on eBay, Amazon, look up phosphoric acid, and anyway, I just thought I'd pass that along to you. And you know, Eastwood is not sponsored. I bought it, but I think next time I'll be buying some of this stuff. Okay guys, I didn't let that, I scraped it off with a razor blade before I went in when it got sunny out. It's still a little bit gooey, so I'm going to take the 80 grit with DA sander, sand that down. Still some blue showing, get all that out, and probably give it one more coat, wipe it down, and we're ready to prime. The back part here, I still got a bunch of sanding to do. You can see all this blue under here, a little bit blue there. Same thing, I'll DA all this down real good, one more coat, and that's good, and then this one will take a couple of coats on this side. So yeah, let me get back. I'll be back a little bit. Okay guys, it was pretty sticky, so don't, even though I razor bladed it off, just the residue there was all sticky. It was coming up the sandpaper. So I'd take the razor blade and scrape it, and then went over it with the DA. So yeah, don't leave it on there. I guess that's why they say to wipe it with acetone. You can see all the this was still a little bit of blue on there. You can see all the rust underneath there. That's what you got to get off. That's why you can't just prime over that stuff. It'll come up. So I'm gonna put another coat of it on there. Razor blade let it sit for 30 minutes or so. Razor blade all that black up like we did this side. And so I'll be back. Okay guys, I got all this trunk ready. There's a lot of embedded rust in there, so it's gonna probably take a bunch of coats. This side of the hood here is taking a few coats, but I just about got it. This is the second coat today that I put on it. Use my scraper here. I scraped off most of it and then gave it another coat. Yeah, it's mostly coming off. You may have to dab a little bit more on there, but anyway, I want to get some switch this around again. Want to get a good coat on that trunk, and then we can mess with this. Gee, she's almost there. This side, just these little black spots. So I'll be back. Okay guys, you can really see this stuff working here. See it all turning brown. Lifting it up there and making it gray underneath. Yeah, it's going to take a few coats getting this stuff off. Okay, and I'll put another coat over there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, my light went into dim mode. I don't know why. Yeah, it's just you can see rust embedded in there. Not sure why it doesn't come out. It's just too deep there to scrape off with a razor blade. But I don't know. I hope it's covered by that acid stuff. Okay, pretty much got this deck lid ready to sand down. I just put a little bit more. I put 3 or 4 coats on this stuff and kept scraping. This is all the stuff I scrape off with a razor blade. But just some rust spots. Just you can see it's all brown and everything. It's bringing it up, but anyway, I went over them spots and these spots here. The rest of it looks pretty good. So anyway, it's like midnight, I'm beat. This is a lot of work, guys. Mostly this DA sanding because of this paint. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll get this sanded. We'll prime the front and the back. So I'll see you tomorrow. Okay guys, I want to show you a product the sponsor sent me. I don't know why they picked me, an automotive channel, but they sell RV cords, extension cords, power cords, adapters, all kinds of stuff like that, plus some more stuff. And I needed one. So if any of you guys got RVs, this is the place for cords and stuff like that. They've been in business since 1990. It's good quality stuff. It's not cheap, you know, made fly-by-night type stuff. So yeah, the company's called Truck Power. and there should be a 10% discount code in the description. Okay, these are your common RV cords. At least that I know of. There may be different kinds, but let me open this up a little bit better. These have got the finger grips on them to, you know, pull them off and everything, because if not, you're going to be using a screwdriver to pry it. But for me, that's what I know as the common deal. But you can buy adapters to different stuff. So let me show you my RV here. Now they come in 36-foot rolls. So if you need more, if you need, you know, 50 or something, then you have to buy 2 of them. So I just have one. I hope I don't need another one. Okay, this is the power cord coming out. It is pretty long, but if you got an RV, it's always nice to have a extension cord to okay, so it's powered in there. I didn't do all this, but when I got this, it did work. All the electrical did work. I had it hooked up at a shop I had. But here, I don't have a cord long enough to reach. And plus, I don't have a plug for that. I don't even think I have 220. There should be 220 in the house, because over here where I'm fixing to show you, it used to be an AC unit, but it was vandalized and stolen out of here before I bought the place. So it should be 220, but anyway, this is the cord. Okay, this is an adapter, cheap adapter I bought and run with a little cord. I got 110 power out of it, but it needs 220 to run the fridge and the AC. Might be some other stuff too, but 110 runs just the lights and stuff like that. So anyway, this is the cord you want to plug it into here. I did loosen this up earlier, but okay. So we're gonna hopefully do away with all this, and I want it to reach over here, but it may not be long enough. Okay, let me get this out of there. I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it over here. So this goes into, and they said something about this is the very good grade copper. It's not the cheap stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna take some sandpaper to these connections, and anyway, it'll go in there like that, and then the cord will. Let me clean that up with some sandpaper, plug it in, and see how far we can reach it up here. And like I said, I'm gonna have to build a plug over here, as I run the electrical out here, and then this goes underground to the shop. When I built the shop, I run it. So I think I can make a 220 plug or whatever it takes to, and that's where I want it plugged in. Then we can maybe run this underground to the, I don't know, I don't use a camper for anything. I mean, I'm not going to use it to tow to go camping or anything, but it'd be nice to have it working right there. You know, AC and stuff like that. Anyway, let me clean that up and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I think I'm a little bit short, but that's okay. Anyway, yeah, I had it run this little extension cord. That was no good. So yeah, I'm a little bit short, so might get another one. They even put a plug on here to keep it from corroding and stuff, so they kind of thought of everything. yeah, it's a good start anyway. Might have to get another cord or move it closer and then make a plug for there, but I can't move it too much closer because, well, I mean I could, but I don't want it in the way of anything here. There's the father of that kitten. He's okay here. If I come up close, he'll run away. Yeah, because there used to be a mobile home here, and the sewer hooks up right here, I believe. So that's why I kind of parked it there, because that's the way I was going to stack the cars in here like that. So that's where it sits. I could always move it closer, but anyway, guys, check them out. They got a website. I'll put it in the link, Trek Power. And okay, guys, back at it. To see what, I don't know how much light there was last night. These solar powered lights, that one stayed dim. It usually goes high then low, or stayed on low, so you couldn't see very good. So just seeing if it looks better in the little bit of daylight got left. So yeah, this, I don't know, it's black under there. I guess that's, I don't know whether I should spray some rust neutralizer in these areas here or not. Anyway, I spread a little bit more on these rusty areas I showed you last night. Let's use my scraper here. I just left this on here all night. Oh yeah, you can see. Let's see what it done down here. I don't know, there's a little, you could see a little bit of rust right in here. So what I'm going to do is scrape the rest of that off, DA it all down with 80 grit, and then maybe go over a couple little spots, and then that's it. Wipe it off and we'll prime that. This is ready to prime, so I'm fixing to get my cheap $10 Harbor Freight tools paint gun out and prime this. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it all sanded down with 80 grit. You can just still see some rust in here and along the back. Rest of it's pretty good. Okay, up here, I went ahead and used some of this rust neutralizer and just sprayed in that little area there. So I don't know, it can't hurt it. So I'll just scuff that down before I prime it. I'm going to put another coat of the acid on these spots here, and after that, wipe it down and sand it, and probably spray some rust neutralizer on them little areas, and then this will be ready to prime. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm almost done. I sprayed a little of that rust neutralizer on those areas. It's ready to prime once this stuff dries here. So I already done the hood, primed it. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's little stuff from the rust pit, little pits in there. I'm just gonna spray a little bit more primer right in there. I think that's the only spot. But anyway, that's it there. I primed it. Put a couple of coats on there. It'll, you know, before you paint it, sand it down and reprime it. Get all the 80 grit scratches and stuff out, and prime it and paint it. So I guess that's about it. You can take what you want from it. I used about, it's right there, so I used that much. Got the roof to go, maybe the tops of the quarters. I'll do that later in another video along with body work. We got this rust here. We'll fix that. The only other rust spots, well, there's a little bit on that deck lid. Right in here. I'll probably just beat that in and fill it with that Dynaglass waterproof fiberglass filler. So yeah, see, when I just spread that on there on the rust, you can see this is more of a silver gray color, right? Because I said wipe it off and then wipe it down with acetone thinner stuff, and I think it leaves that gray film on there. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to just prime over that gray film, but what I did was sand it all down, see? So it sanded most of that gray stuff off. I don't know if you're supposed to leave it on there or not. If anybody knows, let me know. Because maybe that gray does protect it. But you go to scrape it off there and it's like chalky. But anyway, it's, like I said, it's my first time using it. I just put a little rust treatment on these spots just to be on the safe side, because I'm fixing to prime it. It took a long time because I thought it was just rust. I didn't realize the paint was underneath there, so it took a while to sand all that off. But you know, it shouldn't really take that long. But anyway, yeah, I guess that'll be it. Subscribe if you haven't, bottom right hand corner of the screen. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and we'll be moving along with this Nova, doing the body work and a bunch of other stuff. I won't keep you in suspense, but it's going hot rod black. Okay, we're going to keep in the theme of the hot rod Nova, because it's a V8, got headers, duals, big Edelbrock 4-barrel and stuff on it. So I think it's called hot rod black. It's flat black. That's what they call it. So that's why I wasn't too concerned about doing any body work. Really, if it was a real nice restoration, you would replace that hood because it's so warped, and now the rust. But I don't have one. I don't have a hood in my back pocket. So this is kind of what we're doing, and we're leaving it all kind of rough. Well, just the top surfaces. On the sides, I'm going to strip the sides and probably fix door dings and stuff. But as far as the stuff that really should be replaced, if you're doing a better job, like the hood, we're not going to fix nothing on it. You'll see dents and stuff on it, even with the flat black. But I'm not too concerned about it. I grinded out the rivets here, and same thing. It's all full of hail on the top and everything, so I'm not going to go overboard with it. It's not worth spending 100 hours of body work just getting this thing slick as brand new. It's not worth it. But I don't want to paint or prime over this rust crap. I don't mind the labor. Spend a little labor, sand it all down and do it, but for the rust wise. Okay, so I think that'll be it, guys. Like, comment, share, all that stuff. Tell me what you think, and we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching. Okay guys, there's the deck lid painted. Lots of bugs in it. Tons of bugs flying around this light. But anyway, a couple of good heavy coats on it, and okay, we'll see you.